Hey there, it is Coach Jamila, and I wanted to talk about a very interesting topic because of the nature of the economy and what has been happening with the pandemic. There have been many that have lost their jobs, lost their careers, and what they're looking at it. There are many strong women that I am connected to that have reached out to me, and how they're viewing this as an opportunity, really an opportunity to do something different. So rather than going back into the field that they've worked in for so many years, now that they have been forced basically to do something else, now they're looking for a way to do that. But here's the struggle. I am a transformation life coach, for those of you that don't know. And I specifically work with strong women who secretly struggle with, negative self-talk, lack of self-confidence, self-doubt, strained relationship with one or both parents, and poor romantic choices in men. So these are the struggles that strong women deal with silently, because to onlookers, they seem to have it all together. They're killing it in their careers. They're so successful, and et cetera, et cetera. And so when they're faced with this transition, whether it is through the loss of a job or by choice, sometimes what they come to realize is, well, I don't know what I want to do. I don't really know who I am. And I don't know what I'm naturally good at. Because see, a strong woman, how I define it, is a woman who has been through many, many different challenges and obstacles, but overcome them and continue to move forward. So she has a tenacity about her to where she just keeps going. She has mastered many different things in order to be where she is. But where she is may not actually be where she wants to be. And so I wanted to make this video because I have had, like I said, several women reach out to me for help regarding how do I figure out what I want to do for a job. I just know I don't want to do what I was doing before I lost it because of the pandemic, or I feel like I'm in a crossroads and I just want to do something different. And so I have 3 questions for you. And if you've ever watched any of my videos, if you're a follower or subscriber, you should just get you a little notebook. That's your Coach Jamila notebook, because I'm always going to have something for you to work on that requires pen and paper, not the notes app on your phone, but pen and paper, because there's something very therapeutic about that tactile exercise of putting the pen to the paper. So just to give you a little background before I give you these questions, I myself, and this is a few years ago, so this is before the pandemic, was in human resources for many, many years, and I lost that job. And it forced me to come to a crossroads, and I'm like, well, what do I want to do? And so I really didn't know. And so that kind of leads me to the first question that I want you to ask yourself. And I can't take credit for this question. It comes from a famous TV talk show host. And this is what he asked the audience for them to, as a rhetorical question. And so the first question that I want you to ask yourself, if you are in this phase of transition, trying to figure out what you want to do with your career or what's going to be your next move in your business, the first question I want you to ask yourself is, what is the thing that you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort? This would be your gift, okay? So how can you go about identifying it? It's going to take you a minute to think about that, okay? And the good news is this video, I'm going to save it to IGTV, upload it to YouTube. So if you come on later, whatever, you'll still be able to get the full scope. But let me tell you a little bit about this first question, discovering what your gift is. When you really think about it, you may actually struggle to think, well, What is my gift? I don't really have a gift. Well, the reason why you're going to really have to stop and think about it is because it's something that comes so natural and so easy that you may not feel like it's something special. And so it may not stand out to you. So you really have to, you may have to actually turn to your husband or your best friend or someone close to you and ask them, what would you say is my gift? I know I turned to my husband and asked him, and he gave me some feedback that kind of made the bell go ding, ding. And it's like, oh, yeah. So for me, my gift is that I'm very empathic, and I am able to connect to my clients emotionally and help guide them through the process of that self-discovery, emotional awareness, and healing. So my entire life, I've always connected to people on that level, been the one that people talk to. I enjoy conversations where we get right down to business of substance and really connecting and bonding with people. So that's the way I've always related to people. So it didn't seem like anything special, right? I remember when I was working, I had an office, people would always come in the office and sit down. You'd think I was running a practice or something, but I wasn't. I'm like the HR person. But anyway, my point is because it was so natural and normal to me, sometimes you assume, oh, everybody does this. Everybody doesn't do it. And see, we all are endowed with a gift, something that we're really good at, something that is special and unique just to us. And if you think about it, it really makes sense, because if we all have gifts and we're sharing them, then we're all benefiting from all the different ways that others are, better at, these different things than us. So it's kind of if we're all interacting and sharing, then we're all benefiting from each other's gifts, but we each have one. We just have to figure out what it is. And like I said, it's kind of like hiding in plain sight. So I'm going to repeat that. So the first question is, you want to discover what your gift is, okay? And the reason is because if you're going to make this shift, if you're going to make this transition, and I'm really talking to women who are like in their late 30s, 40s, early 40s, you just kind of reach this place in your life where you're like, it's time for a change, or I was forced and now I have to make a change. And so you want to figure out what that gift is, because if you can play to your strengths, your natural strengths, now you're getting into the sweet spot, okay? So then that kind of leads me to my second question, okay? I want you to ask yourself, and again, pen and paper, what is it that you like to do? What is it that you really enjoy doing? And I don't mean like something that you had to put forth great effort to learn, because, right, you're a strong woman. Of course, you put your mind in anything, you're going to be able to master it, right? You just have to want to do it. I'm not talking about that, okay? I know you have a ton of skills. I know that you are capable of doing so many different things, but we're talking about those things that come natural. So I want you to think about, what is it that I do that when I'm done, I feel this sense of joy and refreshment? What is that? What is that activity? What are you doing when you feel like that, when you're done, like fulfilled, like you just feel like good? Maybe to someone else, they look and they go, oh, I don't know how you do. People say to me all the time, I feel like I'm always talking to you about my problems. My friends, not my clients, they pay me, to help them with their problems. But my friends, and I'm like, no, it's not. It's just who I am. So it's not a weight for me to know that I have uplifted you, encouraged you, helped you work through something. Makes me feel like I'm so rewarded and fulfilled. So do you see what I'm saying? So I want you to think about, what is it that you do? And it doesn't have to be something that you do at work or that's related to your skill. Just think about your personality, your qualities, your characters, how you interact with people, your relationships. What is it that you do that when you are done, again, like I said, you just feel refreshed and joyful, okay? So you're gonna need to take some time and think about that. But I want you to start, and don't sit there and waste time trying to find one thing. Just write down everything that comes to mind, right? You're just gonna get it all down, because you're gonna go over it and it's gonna start to become clear to you. So this third question, because sometimes let's not say sometimes, pretty much 99.9% of the time, it is hard for us to look at ourselves and really see who we are, what we're good at. And so it's always a good idea to ask someone else for their input. And you may already be aware of some of the things that people have said to you about you. And so the question is, what do other people say you're good at? Okay, so that's the third question. And I'm just going to circle back to kind of that first question around your gift. Now, what's interesting is when you do something naturally and you don't have an awareness of it, you may actually find that at times you've been given negative feedback for this particular trait or characteristic that you have, because perhaps you're just wielding it and you're not aware of how you're using it. I know for myself, when I was younger, connecting to people, feeling those emotions and because they're not mine, I'm like, okay, I got it, and I can see, okay, all you gotta do is X, Y, and Z and problem solved. Well, everybody doesn't want their problem solved. Everybody doesn't want to hear your advice. And so I had to learn, oh, okay, I need permission. But when you get that negative feedback, you don't look at it and say, oh, that's a good thing about me. You look like, oh, okay, well, I'm just gonna be quiet. So I just share that with you. So think about, is there something that you do naturally, easily, that sometimes gets you in trouble? But it's actually a good thing. You just haven't learned how to use it, properly or consciously or with some type of awareness. Okay. So I want you to think about that. So just to review, those 3 questions are, what is your gift, right? And so the question you're going to ask yourself is, what is the thing you do the best with the least amount of effort? And that would be your gift. That's your answer to number 1. Okay. So question number 2 is, what do you like to do? What are you good at? And what is it that you do that comes naturally, that when you're done, you feel a sense of joy and fulfillment, like it's rewarding. And it may be something that to another person, they don't get it. Why do you like that? But you just do, okay? So that's what I want you to think about with that second question. And then the third question, what do other people say you're good at or that's good about you? Because they may be able to see it where you can't, okay? And then once you have all these answers down on your paper, okay, all these answers to these questions, I want you to really take some time and sit with it and read it over and allow your mind to bring it up, because you'll see it and it will become clear to you what it is that you have that is special, that is a gift. Now, how to monetize it, how to turn it into a career, all those things, that's a different video. But this one is simply just about that discovery process, okay? Because you got to know who you are. And so as a transformation life coach, my philosophy on the whole subject really is that you have to go in back to the beginning to figure out how you started, deal with those foundations, and really heal yourself and become whole. And then you can get clarity about where you're going, okay? And so that's why people come to me and work with me. One of the reasons anyway. But I wanted to give you these 3 questions for you to work on this on your own, because as strong women, we like to do as many things as we possibly can on our own until we've exhausted, our abilities, and then we will seek help. So again, take your time with your notebook and your pen, go through these questions, really allow yourself to sit and think about it, and share your answers with me if you are in, transition or trying to make that career move and you're just trying to figure it out. Comment below after like I said, I'm going to upload it to IGTV and YouTube so you can watch the playback. But anyway, I hope that this helps. And if you have any questions, you can DM me or book an appointment or contact me through CoachJamila.com or comment below. And I just want to thank you for watching. And you guys have a good night. All right. Bye-bye.